Hi everybody, this is Jeff. How you doing? I decided to do something interesting today. I wanted to explore Ed Wood. Now, after I did my my video on Bride of the Monster, quite a few people sent me messages saying that they thought Ed Wood, given the right resources, could have been a good filmmaker, a competent filmmaker. And this is something I had thought of before. This is something that me and a guy from work years ago used to talk about. We used to talk about, is there good films? The idea of his films, are some of them good ideas that could have been good films? And with the right resources and possibly somebody else making them? Was Ed Wood's career only hampered by the fact that he didn't have any money? That's what I'm going to talk about today. And I'm doing it here on this path. This is the Des Plaines River Trail. It's one of my favorite places. Whenever I need to think, I need ideas, I come out here, walk, and I come up with a ton of thoughts. A lot of times I'll bring a little notebook and just write down ideas. I used to make short films, and a lot of those films, a lot of the ideas for those films came while walking down this trail. This is a remarkable trail. It stretches all the way from the Wisconsin border to the other side of Lake County, Illinois. You can ride your bike all the way across the county on this trail. It's pretty amazing. So I'm gonna gather my thoughts a bit, and I'll stop somewhere and we'll start talking about Ed. Now, while it seemed like a good idea to come out here and do a video out in my favorite place in the world, these woods, it's come to my attention that, well, we've had a lot of rain lately, and the mosquitoes are horribly bad. So my original goal of walking around these woods, showing nature, and talking about Ed Wood is not going to happen because I didn't bring any bug spray, and every time I stop, I am swarmed by mosquitoes. So I think I'll go back to my usual couch, and we'll continue on the conversation from there. How's that? Sorry about that. Okay, one last stop before the mosquitoes find me. They're already starting to get bad. I just wanted to say that I think I'm going to do this when I get back to doing regular videos. I'm going to do this as well. Once a month maybe. I'll just do a Jeff Rambles or Old Man Kelly Rambles or the rambling of a crazy old man. Something like that, where I just go out and talk about something. Something film related most likely, but I enjoy doing these, and if people don't want to see them, well, there's nothing they can do about it except not watch. Or what many of you do, just give me a thumbs down. I guess I got to accept that. But I enjoy doing this, and I think if I want to get back to doing a weekly Sunday morning show, I need to do this because it's too hard to try to come up with these things every week. It's a lot of research, a lot of work. Research, writing, filming, editing, it takes so much time. I hope you understand. And if you don't like these, that's fine. You don't have to watch. But okay, I'm back inside because the mosquitoes have found me in droves. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, a bit of a failed experiment there, but we'll do that again soon. But I'll bring bug spray next time. Hopefully that'll help. And the fact that I'm allergic to bee stings is always a concern, though I didn't see any bees out there today. So let's get back to Mr. Wood. Let's talk about his three big films first, before we get into whether or not he's a good director, because I think there's clues in these three films that Okay, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, I don't think he was a very good director. And we'll get there. I'm sorry for people who think he could be, and I could be wrong, but let's get in there. Let's start out with Glenn or Glenda.
Then comes the major surgery, the removal of the man and the formation of the woman. A woman born at the age of 24.
A new life is begun.
The body of the woman within begins to appear now. The world is shocked by a person who changed his sex. Thus, the strange case of Glenn, who was Glenda, one and the same person, not half man, half woman, but nevertheless, man and woman in the same body. He dares to enter the street dressed in the clothes he so much desires to wear. Glenn is engaged to be married to Barbara. Glenn's problem is a deep one, but he must tell her soon. She's begun to notice things. Soon she will realize. He learned that foreign doctors were doing marvelous work with a sex change. Man to woman, woman to man.
Say, did you read about the guy that had his sex changed to a girl? Says he was perfectly normal, too.
How can a guy be normal and go and do a thing like that to himself?
The problem with that film is making it at all. What I'm saying is, yeah, kudos to Mr. Wood for trying to make a personal film, trying to make a film about his lifestyle, trying to bring it to the public's attention. If for a man who wanted to get a film career started, this wasn't the best decision in the world. I mean, I get it. It was a personal thing. I'm thinking more of a career-wise. He really needed to show the studios that he could make a quality film, even on a low budget. And let's face it, no studio is going to watch this and say to themselves, we need that man to direct our next epic. It just wasn't going to happen. I mean, kudos to him for doing something he believed in, but it just wasn't a very smart move. Then let's talk about Bride of the Monster.
Lobo, take the girl to my quarters.
Janet's car? Yeah. There's not a trace of it.
Probably the closest thing ever, the closest film Ed ever made to a commercial success. And it's not too far off from a lot of the 50s B films of the time. It really wasn't. The problem, as we discussed a few weeks ago, was the octopus. Ed obviously had some stock footage of an octopus and a rubber octopus to use in his film. I believe that was an octopus from Wake of the Red Witch, John Wayne movie. But it just didn't fit with the rest of the movie. It didn't. And this will go to what I'm going to get into in a minute, but think about it. If he would have, instead of having this octopus in there, had some of the doctor's failed experiments, his attempt to make atomic supermen. They didn't die. They turned into mindless zombies or something, and they're roaming around the woods killing people. That would have been far more effective, and you could have done a lot more with it. You know, POVs, the monsters, the chase scene. There were so many opportunities there, but in that might have been also, not only did he have the stock footage he wanted to use, but for budget constraints, he might not have had enough film, enough celluloid to film scenes like that. Who knows? But I mean, this was all written in the original script before he even started filming. So, you know, when you write, you have to seriously look at your work and criticize it and have others look at it and criticize it. You have to You have to admit to yourself when you're going down the wrong alley. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, let's move on to Plan 9 from outer space.
It is safe to state that the grandchildren of some of the people in this stinger will not be born on Earth. They come from the bowels of hell, a transformed race of walking dead, zombies guided by a master plan for complete domination of the Earth. Plan 9 from outer space.
Now, Plan 9 from outer space is interesting because, especially nowadays, because zombies are so big, you know. How many seasons is The Walking Dead on now? Like 150? Between all its sequels and prequels and all that stuff. And yeah, zombies are big now. So they're and having aliens create zombies, bring back the dead to life, that's no more ridiculous than any dead being brought back to life. I mean, be honest with you, and this is between me and you, I think the whole zombie thing is ridiculous. And you're talking about a guy who made like 4 or 5 zombie shorts. I did it for a Halloween celebration, and they're fun to make, but the whole idea is ridiculous. You know what to do if the dead ever come back to life? 2 things to do. Move south or move north. If you move north, the zombies will freeze to death. They have no way to generate heat. If you move south, it's so hot and humid there, they'll rot and fall apart in days, right? I think I'm probably in the worst area of the Midwest. Anyway, let's back to Plan 9. But the idea of the dead coming back to life is a marvelous idea, and it could have really worked. This is the one where I agree a little more money would have helped, because you needed a ton of these zombies walking around. Vampira shouldn't have been there. I know she was a name at the time, that's why. But suddenly you have a zombie and you have this creature walking around that doesn't make a lot of sense. And then you have scenes like this.
Stop him, Tanner. He's close enough. Turn off your electrode gun. No! No! Stop him, Tanner!
I can't get it. It's jammed.
Stop him, you fool!
Drop the gun to the floor, Tanner. The metal will break contact.
That was too close.
And that's my problem. That's my problem. That's why I'm saying I don't think Ed Wood could be a good filmmaker. You see, Ed wanted to be a producer, writer, and director. But his writing was so bad. And I brought this up before, and I'll bring it up again. My problem with bad B films is not the poor acting, poor camera choices, the use of stock footage, graininess, whatever. I can accept all that. Bad sound. I can't accept a bad script, because that's the one thing you don't need money to do, and you could spend time, as much time as you want, writing a script in most cases, right? Ed had all the time in the world to come up with decent dialogue for Plan 9 from Outer Space, but failed miserably. We have scenes like this.
Can you see or measure an atom? Yet you can explode one. A ray of sunlight is made up of many atoms.
So what if we do develop this solenite bomb? We'd be even a stronger nation than now.
Stronger. You see? You see? Your stupid minds. Stupid! Stupid!
That's all I'm taking from you.
Get back here, you fool!
And apparently Ed was proud of that dialogue. He asked people what they thought, and it was like, pretty cool, huh? And then we have the scene with, hold on, I wrote down their names here so I wouldn't forget. Norma McCarthy, Gregory Wilcox, and Danny D. Meering in the cockpit, the 3 of them, and their dialogue.
Those incidents in the graveyard these past few days just got me worried.
Well, maybe they haven't figured out those crazy skybirds yet, but I'd give you 50 to 1 odds the police have cleared up that cemetery thing by now.
I hope so.
If you're really that worried, Jeff, why don't you radio in and find out? Mac should be on duty at the field by now. He could call Paul and relay the message to you.
Now, this dialogue almost seems okay, but according to Norma McCarty, is it McCarty or McCarthy? I think it's McCarty. Norma McCarty, in the book Nightmare of Ecstasy, the biography of Ed Wood, the three of them rewrote all their own dialogue before the film because it was just so bad they came up with their own. I mean, even when your own ex-wife, yeah, she was married to Ed Wood for a short time before she found out he was a transvestite. The fact your own ex-wife is saying, we had to rewrite his dialogue because it was so bad. And that's why I don't think Ed could have been a good filmmaker. If he didn't know how bad his dialogue was, he could have never, okay. I'm trying to get my thoughts together here. This is why I should be in the woods, because I think a lot better out there. Roger Corman. He made some pretty cheesy bad films. I mean, Swamp Women, Attack of the Crab Monsters, but a lot of these, the scripts aren't all that horrible. And the reason why is Roger Corman had enough sense to have somebody else write his movies. Was it Charles B. Griffith who wrote like 1 million Roger Corman movies? If Ed had enough sense, if he had the qualities it takes to be a good filmmaker, he would have recognized his shortcomings and gone and got help writing these scripts. But he didn't. And I could forgive a lot of what's in his films, but some of his dialogue are just like, come on now, Ed. Now, some of you might point out this famous one.
I have no home. Hunted. Despised. Living like an animal.
And that isn't too bad, but apparently, according to Alex Gordon, that was left over from his script that Ed Wood had rewritten. And Ed claimed, if I'm not mistaken, that he wrote the whole script, but according to Alex Gordon, some of the dialogue was left over from his original script that Ed based his script on, and that was from the original. So that's my problem with Mr. Wood. Yeah, he shot films competently for what he had, right? I mean, the angles he shot at, it wasn't Scorsese or, Kubrick, but they were competently shot, better than I've seen a lot of B films shot. So maybe if he stuck to just directing, had other people write his scripts, and had some money, he maybe could have done some good work. But anyway, that's my take on Ed Wood. I hope you appreciate it. I'm sorry I couldn't do this outside where I really wanted to. I think I had more to say, and now I can't remember. It's been a long day. I was at a poker tournament yesterday. I drove 2.5 hours to get there, or my brother did because I rode with him. It was 105 people. I finished 7th, so I made a little bit of money out of it and had a good time. So I'm a little bit tired today because that was a long day. And I've got a Greek fest I'm going to in a few hours with my daughter, my wife, my son-in-law, and possibly my son. My son's a very finicky eater. I don't know if he'd like anything that a Greek celebration will have, but we'll see how that goes. I'll be back soon. I'm hoping to be back in early August, but I do have some commitments for then too. It's like this weekend, I had the poker tournament and Greek Fest. Next weekend, a buddy of mine has an all-day barbecue at his house on Saturday. I'm committed to go to that, and I want to go to that. I have a good time. And the next Saturday, another huge poker tournament to go to. The following month, I have a big family reunion, what we do every year, to go to, and that's downstate. That's actually down in Missouri at my sister's farm. So much to do. So much to do. I need to retire. And you guys could help me out, right? If any of you have money you want to throw my... No. I don't want your money, really. I don't make much money, if very little, from these videos because no one watches. Oh, you watch, and you watch, but very few people watch them, and that's fine. I'd rather have a small, loyal audience than a bunch of haters. So, anyway, my throat's getting scratchy because of my long day yesterday. I'll be back soon. And like I said, these little ramblings I'm going to do every now and again because I like doing them. And I want to do a video every week. So these will help fill in that. And if you don't want to watch them, just don't. You don't have to give me a thumbs down. Just don't watch them. I'll call them The Ramblings of an Old Man or something. I'll think of something. And if you see that in the title, just ignore it. Okay. Take care. Stay healthy. I'll be back soon.